Hello again, my friends. Eric Pearson here with another demonstration of Frontier Pilot Simulator. I'd like to give a shout out to one of my more recent subscribers, Sigvar. Sigvar recently asked me in the comments section if it was possible to land and refuel at the ocean-going tanker that is typically seen in this game. So Sigvar, buckle up, because I'm about to answer your question. Let me hit the M key and access the map. If I scroll out, I can see that the tanker is right off the coast of this island, so I'm going to punch it in as a waypoint by right-clicking on it, exiting the map, and now let's take off. Okay, so I'm going to do a direct ascent for a bit so I'm not skidding as much. Of course, there's a large cargo ship from Cargo Spaceway, so I better get out from under it. Alright. Alright, we're fast enough. Accessing wing mode. Back off the throttle and start flying out. Now, one thing I've learned is that when we approach the tanker, we can't just fly up behind it and try and touch down. What will happen if I do that is that the ship will literally continue sailing out from under me, causing a fatal collision. So what I'm going to have to do is fly out past the tanker, turn around, and approach it head-on, because that's where the landing pad is. But we can still get a nice scenic view of it as we fly over. I have to say, the large vertical sails on this ship remind me a bit of a ship that I think was used by Jacques Cousteau's research team. I think it was called the Alcyon, and it had a set of tall, solid sails. Okay, and it looks like the ship is turning hard. So let's get out of airplane mode and see if we can catch up. Yeah, it looks like it's turning around as if back toward the island. Okay, so let's see if I can slow my forward motion and gently turn around. Okay, that's good. Alright, so let's see if I can fly backwards a little bit. Almost got it. Just have to see if I can turn in place here. There we go. Okay, so now I'm approaching head-on, more or less, and if I do this right, I should be able to gently touch down on the deck. Almost got it. Here we go, almost got it. And touchdown. So there it is. That's the secret. You've got to approach it from head-on. Though, while I've successfully landed on the ship, there is no refueling station or trade port. So we can land here, we just can't refuel. But still, it was an interesting thing to try. And now that this is done, I'd like to talk about something that happened in the real world similar to this. Aircraft carriers have to replenish supplies periodically, and they can't always just head back to port. So they have to rely on what's called COD, or Carrier Onboard Delivery. They can be resupplied by small aircraft, but at one point back in 1963, they did an experiment on the idea of resupplying an aircraft carrier with a much larger plane. So what they did, believe it or not, is they took a C-130 Hercules transport and managed to land it on the deck of the USS Forrestal. In fact, in the month of November 1963, they were able to do over 20 landings and takeoffs, all within the space of their flight deck. It was a pretty impressive maneuver, and they proved that the concept worked, but they ultimately decided that landing such a large aircraft on the deck would be risky and at times impractical because it would impede their ability to launch other aircraft while the plane was sitting on the deck. So what they decided instead was to develop other smaller transport aircraft that would be more practical for the COD role. Thus was developed the C-2 Greyhound. And the C-2 Greyhound served the U.S. Navy for a number of decades, and as I understand, there are eventual plans to replace the C-2 Greyhound with naval variants of the V-22 Osprey. So there you have it, Sigvar. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration, and please join me next time for more demonstrations of Frontier Pilot Simulator. Eric Pearson, signing off.